Donald Trump has effectively sided with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy on this. He says, in regard to those who are mad at him because they feel he changed his mind on immigration, he says, I didn't change my mind. I always felt we have to have the most competent people in our country. We need competent people. We need smart people coming into our country. We need a lot of people coming. We need a lot of people coming in. We need a lot of people coming in. He didn't change his mind. He didn't change his mind.
Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk and other people in the MAGA movement have been getting a ton of backlash from people inside of the MAGA movement, including apparently Ana Kasparian and the Young Turks. In this video, we have Ana Kasparian going after Vivek Ramaswamy for kind of turning his back, betraying the MAGA movement, as a lot of people are viewing it as. I don't know if I would go as far as to say he's backstabbing the MAGA movement, but he definitely did say and do things, as well as Elon Musk doing things, that does contradict kind of what a lot of MAGA thought they were voting for in this last election. And let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. I'm pretty sure that a lot of MAGA thought that a huge part of them voting for Donald Trump in this 2024 election, people outside of MAGA too, who voted for Joe Biden in the prior election, voted for Donald Trump in this one because they thought immigration was going to be a huge part of his entire movement this time around. Anyway, let's get into this clip here where Ana Kasparian is going after Vivek and going after Elon a little bit for turning their back, apparently, on MAGA.
In his X post, Vivek Ramaswamy argues that the problem isn't mass immigration, but American culture itself. It's a convenient theory, but one that misses the mark entirely.
Recently, Fox anchor Rachel Campos Duffy, a woman I very rarely agree with, actually did an interesting and lengthy takedown of Vivek Ramaswamy over his support for the use of H-1B visas by various business owners, especially Silicon Valley tech bros, and especially his long rant against American culture and work ethic. Now, Duffy started her segment with the story of Leo Pereiro, and I think this is a story that a lot of Americans can relate to. So he was actually an IT worker over at Disney, but he was getting laid off. And if he wanted to collect his bonus and his severance, the only way he could do it is if he was willing to train his replacement, a foreign worker who was brought to the country on an H-1B visa. So Pereiro said the experience demoralized him and made him want to leave the IT field entirely. He said, I felt extremely un-American. I felt like I was part of destroying our economy because I had to train a replacement that was going to come here.
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
Take my job and potentially take other people's jobs. So that aside, let's watch more of what Campos Duffy had to say.
Americans aren't opposed to bringing in more geniuses like Elon Musk, but let's not kid ourselves into believing Disney's replacements were all budding Einsteins. These workers are willing to put up with lower pay, longer hours, and overall worse conditions, unable to leave their jobs without risking deportation because they want to become citizens and bring their families over through chain migration. These companies are creating a permanent underclass of foreign workers. It's a rigged game designed to create cheap labor and make it impossible for American citizens to compete. This has been a problem for decades, and despite our leaders getting directly called out about it, they refuse to take action.
No, it's fascinating.
Yeah, I actually used to work in IT, before I got into online business and everything, and I definitely noticed that trend too. And I have family members that work in IT that are very high up in IT companies, and I mean, I'm trying to not be super offensive with this, but like, the Indian takeover is pretty insane when it comes to IT and when it comes to anything, anybody that wants cheap labor. Like I said, I'm really into online business and a lot of my friends are online business owners. And we have this like running joke within this like community. We call it the Indian method, where you can literally just go hire people from India to be a virtual assistant or whatever you want them to do. And they just do it for dirt cheap. And we literally joke about it and we call it the Indian method. And the IT companies and large tech companies have been running the Indian method for a long time. And it really does hurt the product, but it helps their bottom line. So there's no doubt a problem with that, but that's not even the real problem that I see. The problem that I see is Vivek Ramaswamy attacking American culture, basically. And yeah, we might not prioritize math over everything else. Like he said, the valedictorian or whatever is not as celebrated as the prom queen. And like, okay, maybe you could view that as somewhat of a problem. But basically his problem with America is that we're not nerdy enough. Like, we don't pinch our nose when we talk and stuff. Like, I think that the American culture has a lot of benefits too. It has a lot of downfalls as well, but like, we didn't become the powerhouse of the world by accident. And now we might be getting a little bit soft. Now we might be getting a little bit insane, you know, when it comes to the trans military generals and stuff like that. Yeah, that might be getting a bit out of hand, but like, we didn't get here by accident. The culture that created this powerhouse it's not by accident, you know? I think having a culture of celebrating prom queen and kings and really pushing kids towards sports instead of just making them nerds who only care about math and wearing cool glasses that they get to push up as they're solving math problems, I think that really does help you. You know, now being an adult, I'm 26, so I'm an adult, right? I don't feel like an adult. It's crazy. But now being an adult, you know, and running businesses and having employees and having to compete in a marketplace, I fall back on what I learned in sports a whole lot more than I fall back on anything that I've ever learned in math class. I have a calculator on my phone. I don't need math class. I don't even remember a single thing that I did in math. I know how to do basic addition and subtraction and multiplication, and that's about it. That's it. And the rest I can do on my phone. So like, but I fall back constantly on things that I learned through sports. Like a ton, basically every single day. And so that, I think that's a huge part of why America is where it is today, is because of its culture. So if you don't like it, you could leave. You know, it's always an option. You could just leave, and you definitely don't have to be in the Make America Great Again movement. Like, what MAGA stands for is going back to when America was great in times of American culture, that the exact thing that you're criticizing was the most prominent. And I know a ton of people are going to be in the comments mad at me for going after Vivek and Elon Musk and these people. I've always been a big fan of Vivek Ramaswamy, like always. Elon Musk, I've always been, you know, I mean, the man wants to put chips in people's heads. I just don't trust anybody that wants to do that. So like, I've always been super skeptical of him, but I like Vivek, I do. But I think criticizing American culture like that, I mean, like I said, if you don't like it, you can leave, always an option, but nobody wants to leave because it's the best country in the world. Why? Because of the culture. It's just so ass backwards.
About this whole debate on the right end of the political spectrum is the fact that Donald Trump has effectively sided with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy on this. He says, in regard to those who are mad at him because they feel he changed his mind on immigration, he says, I didn't change my mind. I always felt we have to have the most competent people in our country. We need competent people. We need smart people coming into our country. We need a lot of people coming. We need a lot of people coming in. We need a lot of people coming in. He didn't change his mind. He didn't change his mind. He didn't change his mind.
Yeah, he went from mass deportations to we need a lot of people coming in. You know, this is just another black pill moment for me. You know, I know a lot of people leave in the comments, stop black pilling, but it's like, how many black pills you need to get force fed before you realize that all of these people serve the same master? Like, I hate to say stuff like that. I'm glad Trump won. It's great and everything, but all these people serve the same damn masters, man. It's never going to get fixed. I can make all these videos, can have all these people watching these videos, leaving comments, liking the video, all that stuff. It's all great. It's appreciated, but this stuff's never going to get fixed. Like, it's not. The country's going downhill and it's never going to be turned around. Like, if this didn't do it, if the MAGA movement isn't the one to turn it around, it's just not going to happen. It's just not. Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, I'm sorry. I hate to be the black pillar, but this is the nail in the coffin for me. Like, I'm black pilled, because how are you going to go from mass deportations to saying that we need a whole lot more people coming in? And look, I somewhat agree. We should have the brightest minds in the world. We should have them in America. I agree. So a lot of people criticize the United States for, you know, after the Germans were defeated, after Hitler was defeated, they took a lot of, I don't want to say the word, but they took a lot of Yahtzees, you know, scientists and stuff like that. They took them to America. A lot of people criticize America for doing that. I think that's genius. I don't think that we should have done anything else but that. That is the smartest thing to do. We should have the brightest minds. If they are the best, they should be serving America and not serving Hitler. You know, that's how it should be. And so I am for bringing in the brightest minds from across the world to helping the American government, to helping the military, I agree with that. But to say we need a whole lot more people coming in and we need these Indian people to be taking jobs from Americans, why? Why do we need that? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry for blackpilling again, but I'm just kind of tired of acting like I don't see right through this BS. It's so blatant. All these people serve the same master. They just lie to you to get into the White House, lie to you to get into positions of power. And they act like they're going to do something, and they just do the same thing that the other side was doing. They all serve the same people. And so many people are going to get pissed at that, but it's just the truth.
As an idea.
Yes. 100%.
These are these sicko, there's no love lost between me and these tech people. Like, these people don't believe in nations. Just the idea of being patriotic and prioritizing the people of a nation, of nationhood itself, they think is stupid. They think, this is some pig-headed nonsense from the plebes. Like, they don't believe in some sense of belonging and being part of it. And guess what? I'm not surprised. These freaking dorks are antisocial. That's why you didn't have any friends. And the reason why Vivek is mad, I'm telling y'all, is because some hot sorority chicks in college didn't give him any play, and he's still pissed about it. That's all he's talking about. This idea that we didn't love Screech and Urkel enough. People love those characters.
Hell yeah.
It's insane. This is all just a personal vendetta of a bunch of freaking dorks.
Well, look, when it comes to Elon Musk, that dork is looking to maximize profits. Like, I don't care that he's already the richest man in the world. Like, for them, it's never enough. And he is willing to sell out American workers in order to maximize his profits. And I think, again, a faction of MAGA has woken up to that. And I'm glad that they've woken up to that. And I'm glad they're speaking out against it. And look, I have a few other things to say. Number one, I haven't really heard much from populist J.D. Vance on this. Could it be because Donald Trump has sided with Elon Musk on it?
We know the vibes.
Okay, so that's point number one. Point number two is, so if you're working so hard that you're almost like sleeping at the office every night, how exactly is that going to help with our lower birth rate problem? Like, is he inviting people to knock boots on his desk over at Tesla? Like, it's Elon Musk is brilliant in a lot of ways, but he's also not brilliant in a lot of ways. And this is an example of that, right? He has difficulty seeing outside of his own lived experience.
Yeah, and also I think he has an ego problem. I think, look, there's no doubt. I'm not trying to roast him at all. Like, I genuinely think that this is a huge advantage for Elon Musk in many ways, but I think he's on the spectrum. I think we can all agree on that, right? He probably got bullied growing up and he has an ego problem. And now he was like the golden boy of the right wing for so long, and now he's said a few things that pissed a lot of people on the right wing off, and now he's not the golden boy anymore. People are attacking him, and he's demonetizing all these accounts, taking blue checks from all these accounts. It's his ego is hurt. That's what it is. It's like he's a child, a really rich, successful, powerful child, and I think we're now realizing the monster that we created, and we gave this much power to a little child who can't handle it. He just can't. He can't look at something objectively, and I think that's a problem. When it comes to JD Vance, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Why do you guys think JD Vance has been pretty silent on this? I think JD Vance probably thinks the same way as Vivek and Elon, if I'm being honest. I know Ana Kasparian just said that she thinks JD Vance disagrees with Trump and Vivek and everyone, but I mean, JD Vance has an Indian wife. I don't know if she's an immigrant, but he has an Indian wife, so I don't know. I think he probably agrees with them. Let me know in the comments, though. What do you guys think about this whole situation about Ana Kasparian going after going after Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk, and a little bit of Donald Trump too? I'm so used to the Young Turks going after Donald Trump. Let me know if I'm blackpilling too hard or if you feel the same way as me, but it's just like, how does this happen? He hasn't even gotten into the White House yet, and it's already feeling like, damn, we got excited for absolutely nothing. It's not going to be anything like we thought. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this whole Ana Kasparian versus Vivek Ramaswamy situation.